Luke here with catsandcarp.com, and I love catching blue crabs. It's something we like to do every year, and I'm going to show you how we catch blue crabs out here on the East Coast. I'm going to show you how to hold and handle them. I'm going to show you how to store them. I'm going to show you how to identify legal keeper crabs. I'm going to show you how to cook them, and most importantly, I'm going to show you how to eat these tasty little guys, because they are a load of fun and very, very tasty. So these crab pots we have here, they come in two different sizes. You can get a full-size crab pot or a half-size crab pot, and I'm using the half-size pots. These recreational crab pots have a pouch in the middle where you put your cut-up bait that provides the scent and the lure for the crabs. And then there's two entrances on either side where the crabs can come in, but they have a hard time getting out. These pots work great from docks or from shore or from boats. They're very versatile. They hold a lot of crabs and they work great. But you can also use these little hand traps. They work by pulling a string up. There's a lot of different versions of this, but they only work from docks or from shore. You can also handline crabs. You have this little safety pin looking thing with a lead weight on it. You skewer some meat on it, attach it to a string, chuck it out there. When a crab latches on, you pull it in with the crab attached. While there's a lot of ways to catch crabs, pots are probably the most efficient way to do it. You can see here I've got two of these half pots that I'm using. I've got some cut up shad and some cut up bunker that I'm using as bait, and I let them sit out for about 6 to 12 hours. And on a good pull, you'll have about 12 to 15 crabs in one pot. On a bad day, you'll only have one, like I do here. Now let me show you how to measure these crabs. Now I use my flip-flop to kind of pin them down or to give them something to pinch while I measure them. And you measure a blue crab from the maximum width of the shell, from one spine on the left to one spine on the right. And male crabs in Virginia have to be at least 5 inches across. An adult crab is about 5 inches. So if it's not 5 inches across, you chuck it back. Female crabs have a different size limit, but I generally only want 5 inches anyways. So the crab here on the left is a male crab. You notice the shell has this little thing that looks like a penis underneath it. And the female on the crab on the right doesn't, and they have this kind of blue flap thing. If the female crab has eggs, you're supposed to throw it back, and the eggs will be in a ball underneath that pouch. Handling blue crabs so you can get them in the pot and get them measured can be a little bit of a trick. They move a little bit faster than you think, and they're pretty aggressive with those claws. They can draw blood, but they generally won't take a finger off. They'll just give you a really nasty cut. You especially want to watch when you have little kids around, because they don't know any better and it's really easy for them to get pinched. But just generally, the easiest way is just to give them something to pinch. Like I use my flip-flop all the time, and while they're busy attacking it, I can measure them and then just easily put them in the pot. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting them one at a time in this pot, and I'm throwing in all the seaweed and crabs into this pot, so I have something to keep them wet and cool while I'm catching the crabs. We were at this beach house for about 3 days, and each time I'd catch a crab, I'd just throw it and the seaweed in here and then put it in the refrigerator, and they'll live 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator, no problem. Just make sure they're damp, they're cold, and don't expose them to fresh water, only salt water. After spending a day pulling pots off the end of this dock, I realized it wasn't a very good spot. So I have my kayak out here, and the nice thing about fishing with these pots is you can kayak them out and drop them and leave them for half a day and really get yourself into some great spots. So I've got a bunch of fresh bunker in here, and I'm out in about 3-4 feet of water. I've just kayaked out there, and I'm just going to dump my pot. Now these crabs aren't often in very deep water. I'm usually catching them in anything from 2 feet of water to 6 feet of water. So we're not going out and fishing deep water for these things. You'll find them around docks, piers, places with a lot of rocks on the bottom, big rocks for little crevices for them to hide, saltwater marshes near oyster beds. So these are all good places to try to find the crabs. And what I'll do is I'll throw the pots out for just like 2-3 hours at a time and pull them to try to find a good spot. And once I find a good spot, then I'll let it sit for like 12 hours. So I found a spot that was a little bit more productive, dropped the bait in, let it sit for 12 hours, came in right at sunset before dinner time, and pulled the pots, and bingo, this time we had some much better success. I had a bunch of keepers, in both the pots. And that's kind of how it is. It's just all about being in the right spot. Once you find a good spot, it's so easy to catch tons and tons of these crab, but you just got to put it in the right spot. And oftentimes the easy spots, the public spots, get way overfished. So if you're fishing off the pier off a beach house where everybody that stays there crab fishes, then it's going to be a little bit rougher. If you go to the public pier, fishing pier, it's going to be hit pretty hard. So the time of year also really matters too. So I'm here in September, which is kind of the end of when it's good, but you can catch them pretty much from April to September, as long as the water's warm. But anyway, about 12 crabs will be a really great meal for a single person. And I'm kind of the only one who's really into seafood. So I've got about 16 crabs here, enough for a few for everybody else, and about 12 for me. And that was just right for our group. But finally got some good pulls, and we filled up the pot full of crabs, and it was all about 5 to 6 inch crabs. We had a few that we had to throw back, but it was a good spot. Probably 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3 crabs we'd have to throw back. So to get 16 keepers, we had to catch about 20 to 22 crabs. All right, let me show you how to cook blue crabs. This is the easiest meal you'll ever cook in your life. Normally I like to steam them, but I don't have steamer stuff. So here at this beach house, so just get a big pot, fill it up with water, add a whole bunch of Old Bay. It's not very precise. Get it boiling aggressively, and then dump in your crabs. Just make sure that they're all submerged in boiling water. That's all you need. And then just cover it up and get the water boiling again, and let it boil steady for about 3 minutes, 5 minutes. If you boil it too long, the only thing that's wrong is the legs and claws will fall off. But other than that, you really can't overdo it too much. And you're in there for more than a minute or so they're cooked, so it doesn't really take much. It's a pretty forgiving meal to cook. So let me show you how to clean and eat these things. So grab the little flappy thing, whether it's a male or female, grab the little flappy thing and pry it off, okay? And then put your knife or thumb in there and rip the whole top of the shell off. Some people like to drink that juice and eat the guts out. It's called the mustard, and the real hardcore crab enthusiasts will be eating a lot of this gooey yellow stuff that I'm throwing away. But I'm not quite there. But you've got these things called devil's fingers, which are the little lungs, that little triangular pieces of meat there. Scrape those off. Either eat the mustard or scrape it off, and then just simply split the crab down the middle. And you see there, that's almost entirely meat there on the sides. There's little bits of shell and bone in there, and you can kind of pry some off with the knife and pick the meat out, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, the meat is attached to the leg joints, and it's all right in there, and it's absolutely delicious. And you can sit there and kind of pick some pieces off and go at it, but the majority of the meat you're going to get by splitting the legs apart. So simply get in there, and you can see that a little bit of that mustard in there, and it's not bad. It's it's a little gross when you're first doing it, but it actually tastes pretty decent. And a little bit gets on the meat, but hey, it's all good. It's all part of the experience. But anyway, you got this glob of meat with the legs attached. So pry the legs apart, and simply pop that in your mouth and suck out the meat, and it'll leave the kind of the shell behind. And that's how you get most of the meat, the body meat. Now, then you get the crab claws and the forearm. So grab the claw, bust the thumb off, and then take the mallet and just gently crack the shell, and you'll get this big glob of claw meat. And it's pretty good. It's a little tougher than the body meat, but it's really good. And quite a bit of meat in there, and once you've gotten all the claw meat out, sometimes it comes out in one big go, and sometimes it kind of comes out piecemeal, and you just got to kind of work it out, but whatever. But once you've gotten all the claw meat out, then you're going to get the forearms, and the forearms have quite a lot of meat there. And the same thing, you just kind of crack the shell gently, try not to pulverize it, and peel it out. It's like eating a peanut, and There you go. You got a nice big glob of meat out of the forearm. So you got 2 claws, 2 forearms, and then the body meat. While we were catching the crabs, Tommy was really excited at the idea of being able to eat them. But when it came down to it, he was very hesitant, to say the least. But I was really proud of him. Despite his instincts, he gave it a try. And if you can get a 3-year-old to eat something new, that's always a huge victory. And he actually liked it and talked about wanting to eat crabs for days after this trip. I was really proud of him. His little brother also tried eating some crab and was much more open-minded about it, but quickly decided it was disgusting, and after that would have absolutely nothing to do with it. But at any rate, we had a great time eating these crabs. Just absolutely ate till they were stuffed, and it's just a fun tradition that we go down to the ocean, once a year and go fishing and hang out as a family and catch some crabs. And at any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this type of video, check out my video on how to catch, clean, and eat Asian carp, and how to catch, clean, and eat snakeheads. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click subscribe for new videos every week.